Welcome to the Google Small Business Community. I'm Lauren Kashik, and today we're discussing digital marketing tips for the holidays. Today we're joined by Russ Laraway, the head of small and medium businesses at Twitter, and Rajiv Rana, the director of small business here at Google. Welcome.
Thanks.
Russ, tell us a little bit more about what you do at Twitter.
Yeah, so I'm responsible for the SMB business at Twitter, which basically means that I have a team of dedicated marketing professionals, Twitter ad experts, data gurus, many of whom, by the way, are watching right now, or at least they better be. And they believe that their job every day is to come to work to help small businesses be successful on Twitter.
And Rajiv?
Hi, at Google, I'm responsible for making small business owners successful with their digital marketing strategy. I have a team of consultants who engage with hundreds and thousands of customers on a daily basis to achieve that business goal.
Nearly 1/3 of shoppers are actually already doing their holiday shopping, and it hasn't even hit Halloween. We also know that increasingly more and more businesses are on the web. So it's important to know, if you're a small business owner, that if you're not on the web engaging with your customers, you're really missing out. So before we dive into this kind of spin of a normal Q&A with our experts, we have an initiation question that we ask everyone in the Google Small Business Community. The question is, if you could have a hangout with anyone, living or dead, around the world, who would it be and why? And as a follow-up, what is the most embarrassing thing that you would ask them? Russ, let's start with you.
Well, I guess obviously I would have a hangout with Undoin Macus de Norsman,
Okay.
who is, it's not obvious, he's the relative in my family that I can trace our family farthest back to on my dad's side. He's a Scot, and he was born about 1066, so I'd like to have a hangout with him. I think the embarrassing question I'd ask him is sort of what he has going on underneath that kilt. No, I probably wouldn't ask. I don't think I'd ask him that. I'd actually ask him why he went to France. So we have several generations that were in France, 20, 30 generations, something like that. Finally, someone goes to Canada. Finally, someone comes to the United States. I'm sort of curious what kicked all that off.
All right. Rajiv?
Well, I love cars, so actually I would like to hang out with Henry Ford, and he is like the founder of the Ford Motor Corporation. And I think what's interesting is that he had this grand vision that he wanted everybody, not just the wealthy people, to own a horseless carriage. And in pursuing that dream, he actually came up with the assembly line technique, which impacts all industries, directly or indirectly.
All right, so now let's discuss what we're going to be doing today. We have 8 topics that we've identified are kind of hot topics for the holidays for small businesses. And each of our experts will have 30 seconds to discuss each topic. But at the end of the 30 seconds, we're cutting you off. And we're doing this because we want to provide the most information possible to our small businesses in the shortest and most efficient amount of time. Now, the 8 topics that we'll be discussing today are holiday prep, finding new customers, must-know trends, marketing for free, standing out against the competition, knowing what's working, learning from the best, and bonus holiday resources. Now, the first topic that we're going to be discussing is holiday prep. As I said in the beginning, nearly 1/3 of customers have already begun holiday shopping before Halloween. Russ, starting with you, 30 seconds for how small businesses can get ready for the holidays.
So definitely plan ahead. Even though Twitter is a real-time information network, it turns out there's a bunch of events that occur throughout the holidays that you could totally plan for. You could build your campaigns ahead of time and be ready to go. For example, 4 in 10 Twitter users report that they're going to start shopping before Thanksgiving. 46% are going to participate in Black Friday. 56% of Twitter users participate in Cyber Monday. And sadly, 1 out of every 4 won't start their shopping till December. So plan for those events and be ready to go.
All right, Rajiv?
As per a study done recently last month, 76% of US small business owners are feeling very optimistic about this holiday season. So I would suggest ride that wave of optimism and plan ahead. What that means is really to spruce up your digital marketing strategy. For some people, it could mean that you streamline your checkout process if you are present online, or offer discounts to your customers. In some cases, if you're spending money on pay-per-click, like on AdWords, my suggestion would be to bid aggressively, be competitive, so that you are found when people are looking for you.
All right, done, just in the nick of time.
Thank you.
You spoke about sprucing up your digital efforts. I think an amazing way to do that is by maybe appealing to new customers you haven't already been appealing to in the past. The next topic we'll be discussing is finding new customers. Starting with Russ, what is the best way for our businesses to find new customers?
Yeah, I think the first thing to remember is just make it really easy for your customers to find you or prospects. So one way to do that is integrate all of your Twitter username, your handle, into all of your online and offline properties, store signage, business cards, your website, things like that. Second thing is I'd say get to know your future audience by getting to know your current audience. So use our free analytics to understand, say, the top interests of your current followers so that you can target similar people and build an audience on Twitter. And last is you should always upload your customer list to Twitter, prospect list, customer list, so that you can find those people on Twitter and interact with them there.
You spoke about customer lists. We actually recently had a hangout on air with MailChimp talking about what to do when you've acquired those emails to start doing email marketing. You should definitely check that out to our business members who haven't. It's on our G+ Your Business page. Rajiv, you have 30 seconds.
So my advice would be to get your business online. You have to be where your shoppers are, and shoppers are spending more and more time online researching. Latest research shows that shoppers roughly look at 12 unique sources or sites before making a shopping decision, and that's a lot. So you got to make sure that you are one of those sites. My advice is please update your information on your website so that people can actually find the information they're looking for.
It's amazing that shoppers can look up to 12 sites before going into a store or actually finding the site that they want to purchase on. I think our businesses would be fascinated by that. And it really does speak to the importance of being really updated, like you were saying, with your information. The next topic we're moving into are must-know trends. Now, both of you, I'm sure, deal with so much data and research day to day that we would love to hear from each of you what one must-know trend is this holiday season. Rajiv, let's have you kick this off.
I actually have two trends, so I'm going to go really fast. First, shopping never sleeps, and mobile phone is your shopping assistant. So Black Friday has become more like a month-long event where your shoppers actually start researching even before Thanksgiving. And some of the shoppers are actually searching even in the night. We found that a lot of the shopping searches on Google, in fact, 1/3 of them, happen between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. So our midnight shopping habit has turned into snacking habit has turned into midnight shopping habit. That's interesting. And also 75% of our shoppers plan to use their phone in-store while shopping this season.
Midnight snacking has now shifted to midnight shopping. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who's completely mobile obsessed. There's a lot of people who spend their spare time, I'm guilty of it, but mobile shopping. Russ, you have 30 seconds for must-know trend.
Yeah, so first, agree on mobile. 80% of Twitter's monthly active users are mobile first. But I'd say the big trend is social media as a holiday shopping tool. So a couple stats for you. 38% of Twitter users say that they're going to use social media a lot more than they did last year to inform their holiday shopping decisions. And then 40% said specifically they'll use Twitter to sort of curate and create their holiday shopping ideas. The reason this is interesting is because the average Twitter user reports they have about an $800 budget to spend on gifts this year. So you definitely want to meet them where they are and help them use Twitter to build their lists.
So you said the average user has about $800 to spend. I know that a lot of our businesses out there might not even have $800 when it comes to spending on any sort of marketing. That leads us into our next topic of marketing for free. Rajiv, you have 30 seconds to tell our businesses out there the one free thing that they can do.
I recommend create a Google My Business page. It's free. What you can do here is upload your business information like business description, your phone number, your business hours, pictures in a very simple way. It takes about 10 minutes. Once you have this information uploaded, it's viewable across Google Search, Google+, and Google Maps. 56% of all mobile Google searches have a local intent. What that means is that customers are really trying to figure out where is your store, what's the shortest way to get there, and what are your business hours. My advice, please keep your information updated. If you haven't signed up today.
Oh, just in the nick of time, you finished that one. Russ, over to you. The one free thing Rajiv said Google My Business that businesses can do.
Yeah, well, Twitter cards are free. So if, for example, something you're interested in doing is using Twitter to drive traffic to your website, you might use our website card. The website card is good for the Twitter user because it gives them a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of where they're going to go. You're asking them to leave Twitter. They're not always totally psyched to do that. Give them a peek behind the curtain. And in fact, we find that there's a 43% increase in engagement using a website card versus just dropping a hyperlink into a tweet. So I'd say definitely use Twitter cards totally free.
It's amazing to me that you can increase engagement by 40%, 43% just by using Twitter cards, which again are free for all of our businesses out there. That's huge. Yeah. The next topic we're moving into is standing out against the competition. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like late October, early November, my inbox becomes crowded with promotional emails, and I'm getting holiday catalogs every other day, and I'm fairly selective with who I'm giving my contact information to.
You're not the only one.
Okay. So Russ, starting with you, 30 seconds on how small businesses can stand out this holiday season.
Yeah, so be a resource for your customers. We coach our customers to an 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should be useful to the users on Twitter, and 20%, that earns you the right for 20% of your content to be promotional. So we asked Twitter users what they would find useful, and so I have some more stats for you. 44% said sneak peeks or first look at new merchandise. 36% said ideas for holiday shopping lists. 35% want a link to your online store, and then 44% are looking for deals or specials that are only available on Twitter.
I think the 80-20 rule is really powerful, and it's something that a lot of our businesses can kind of use to navigate what they're sending out this holiday season. Rajiv, you have 30 seconds for us to tell us how businesses can stand out against the competition.
Absolutely. So I think every business has a unique story to tell that sparks a connection with their customers. I think there's no better medium than to tell your story than through a video. YouTube offers a great platform to tell your story. In fact, it happens to be the second biggest search engine after Google.com. More and more people are spending time looking at videos, and they're online, and videos almost become like this new shopping display. I have an interesting stat to share. 98% of 18 to 34-year-olds on a daily basis consume video content. So that's your market audience. However, my advice, video has to be engaging, but it doesn't have to be expensive or grand.
It's also important to note, this Hangout on Air is on YouTube. So even if you're a small business owner and you're kind of questioning where to start, you've already taken one step in the right direction by watching this. The next topic that we're moving into is knowing what's working. Now, I know that a lot of business owners out there are so busy with just running the show, so being a plumber or selling flowers, that they don't always have time to look back at their campaigns and really understand if it worked and if it didn't work. Rajiv, 30 seconds for the best way to know what's working this holiday season.
Great question. Millions of people out there are using Google Analytics. It's a free tool. What it allows you is to track all activity across your web properties, including your social tools and ads. With this tool, you can understand information like how many people came to your web page, what are the links that they clicked on, how much time did they spend on a web page. Leveraging this information, you can make quick business decisions like should you move your budget from one campaign to the other campaign. And I think that data is really powerful.
Something else that I want to add, when we work with businesses who aren't even on the web, one of the first things that we do with them after they've established a website is we get them on this free tool of Google Analytics. It's so powerful when it's even just remotely looked at to help businesses. Russ, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, so the first thing to do is check out the Tweet Activity Dashboard. That's a free tool that lets you see how your organic Twitter activity is working. So retweets or engagements, which tweets are getting the most views or impressions. And then if you're running paid campaigns, we recently changed the way our ads product works so that you're only paying for specific objectives, say for example, get followers. Well, then the analytics are organized around that objective as well. So you can look at those analytics, see what's working, what's not working, and then make adjustments based on that information.
So question for you. Let's say I wanted to take a selfie pic similar to what Ellen DeGeneres did at the Oscars. You're saying using the Twitter activity dashboard, I can look and see how many people have maybe shared it or retweeted it?
Yeah, well, step one is to get celebrity friends.
Oh, I have those.
Okay, so that's step one. But then, yeah, after you do that, you could use the Tweet Activity Dashboard, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about how that tweet did.
Fantastic. So moving on to our next topic, learning from the best. We know that you guys work with hundreds of small businesses, so we would love to hear from both of you about your favorite holiday campaign by a small business. Russ, let's start with you.
Yeah, so my favorite by far is at Rock Creek. They are an outdoor retailer out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have an e-commerce business too, so you should check them out. And what they did was they were really interested in driving a bunch of shopping activity and awareness before Black Friday. So they built a follower campaign where they targeted people that were similar to followers of Patagonia, and they ran a promotion where there was a 20% off coupon that expired. So the reason they were successful is because they created a sense of urgency and they tested and iterated. Net result of all that, 40% year-on-year increase in sales, and it was their best revenue day of the holiday period, and they attribute all of that to Twitter.
40% increase of revenue just from 1 year seems crazy to me. That's really outstanding. Yeah. Rajiv, we'd love to hear your favorite holiday campaign by a small business.
I'm sure this holiday season we're going to buy a lot of things for friends and family, and I consider pets as family. So I want to share this example from this company, Just Food for Dogs. This is a company that used Google Business Photos to actually upload an interactive tour of their kitchen facility where they actually make food for dogs. And that alone resulted in a 23% increase in the visits, which I think is really powerful. So we can, leverage this amazing free resource.
I think what's so powerful about both at Rock Creek and Just Food for Dogs is that these businesses weren't spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. They were using a lot of free tools out there, but they were able to really increase the amount of business that they had over the holidays because it was just done in a really awesome way.
Yep.
The final topic that we're covering, can't believe it already, is bonus holiday resources. So starting with Rajiv, outside of this hangout, of course, where can our businesses find more resources for the holidays?
Great question. So I have two resources. First, check out Think with Google. There's a lot of research over here where Google has done in partnership with third parties, and you can leverage this information to make informed decisions this season. Second, if you're spending money on AdWords, check out the Inside AdWords blog. This can really help you streamline your AdWords strategy, get the most out of your ad dollars, and there's a lot of tips and tricks coming from different verticals, case studies, and examples.
Think with Google and the Inside AdWords blog are both great resources from the Google side. From Twitter, Russ, what other resources are out there?
Yeah, so top resource, we produce a lot of educational content for people at business.twitter.com. There's so much there. It's totally revamped just as of a couple weeks ago, so you should definitely check it out. Whether you're a Twitter veteran or if you're a Twitter newbie, doesn't matter, you can start your journey in the right place there. The second thing is #SmallGoesBig. Which is a series of digital events aimed at helping businesses be successful on Twitter. In fact, this is one of those digital events. And you can find out everything you need to know about #SmallGoesBig just by following our handle at @TwitterSmallBiz.
Well, with that, we are done with our 8 topics, so we are out of time. It's been great to hear all of the information that you guys have both given to our small businesses out there. I know that the majority of you will be able to take a lot from this. We're also really excited to hear about all of your successes from applying these tips over the holidays. Both Rajiv and Russ have so graciously offered to stop by the community after to answer any questions that you guys have that we haven't been able to address throughout this very lightning style speed interview. So thank you both in advance for that.
Sure.
Thank you.
And thank you both for being here today to give your holiday tips for our community members.
Our pleasure.
And for all of you out there, if you haven't joined the community, please do. We're at g.co/GSBC. Again, thank you so much, both of you, and to our community members for watching. I'm Lauren Kashik, and on behalf of both Twitter and Google, we thank you for tuning into the Google Small Business Community, a place for you to get the help you need to succeed on the web.